you? Nobody? Boring. Hey, a sheep!
Shaking her fluffy coat, the sheep eyes you balefully, her rectangular eyes like letterbox.
Fresh meat. Nice. Plump. Banded like a chicken's leg, too.
The depth of unamused ennui staring back at you from those ovine eyes.
Are you referring to the ballerina?
With two shakes of her stumpy tail, the sheep...
You there. Come here. Hey. Hey. Get me out of this cage and I'll make it worth your while. Your guess is as good as mine. Someone screamed loud as a banshee. After that, pure set me free and I'll set you free. A fair trade, I should... A gentlewoman among jesters, you...
Before you can even touch the lever, you hear a sniff and snort behind you as the snoring Magister mumbles himself.
Is my shift... Wait, you're no Magister. You're a sorcerer. What are you doing here, filthy scrounger? Choose your words carefully. A clever story. I should have known there'd be trouble.
So much for a peaceful stroll.
The prisoner's buoyant voice darkens as his eyes rest.
Ah, freedom. I'm nothing if not a man of my word. And I did...
your maker. I've only just woken up, and already there's a bounty on my head. This again. Boring.
Empty.
And I'm back where I started. Nowhere to go but up. Boring.
Why, you're looking a bit more chipper. Yes. Looks like... There you are. Not too tight, I hope. In the meantime, your next stop will be Magister William. All passengers... You'll find him on the other side of this deck, in the officers' quarters. No. You're alive, and you're having a conversation.
Index fingers pressed to her lips.
My word. You do seem... Oh, well, I'm sure you'll soon gather your wits. Most likely. A new life awaits. And if you're a particularly good girl, perhaps a cure as well. An end to sauce.
She frowns and peers at you closely, resting the back of one...
Delusions such as these are rare, but not unheard of. I recommend a cup of mulled... Is he? Oh, well. Some problems... Why, for my peace of mind, of course. Why don't you try casting one of those sauce spells of yours?
Currents of magic surge inside you, boiling, bursting, then breaking, only to fade back into your...
My, look at the concentration on your face. There you have it. See? The collar's function. For your own peace of mind, of course.
Good gods! There's been a murder here.
A young magister stands pale and silent. Her knuckles whiten around her weapon as you... Behind the magister, a bloodied mass lies in a heap. Gore and limbs lie at odd angles. You can't make out...
There's been a murder. A sorcerer was killed by one of your own. Lucky you were busy getting your cod. Waters is investigating. She'll figure out who did it. Always does. Hands to yourself. Bloody sorcerer.
No lesions, no trauma. He was bled by magic. Ugly sight, isn't it? Burns me up this happened under our protection. We're extremely lucky no Voidwalker followed the source that did this. Finn didn't see it like that. He was desperate for us to help him. We'll find out who did this.
She looks up at you with a mirthless...
I was on duty in your room when the murder happened. You were asleep. You're one of the only indisputably innocent people on the ship. Unless you can commit murder in your sleep, of course. Not with that collar on, you aren't. Listen, I could use someone to keep their ears open among the... Bring me a good lead, and I'll throw in a shiny gold coin for you. How about that? Think about it. It's one of you who got killed, not one of... Who's your real enemy? You let me know if you hear anything. I'm not suited for this. It's sea care. Haven't got any shoes.
One of us. Kicking us off one. As soon as the Inquisitor gets here,
Just skip to the heart of it,
You think me mad?
Mad? No. Insufferable? Surely.
What are you trying to hear anyway?
I'll tell you if you can keep it quiet long enough for me to listen.
You are chill, aren't you? Strongly suspect you know all about it.
Well, perhaps you're
I'll come back to
absolutely
you.
right.
And you better be ready to talk here.
Never thought you'd end up a prison guard, Vic.
That right.
Lucky find.
Ben missed. Your kind always hung closest to our divine, like wolves around a campfire.
Well, you've got this wolf on a leash now.
As soon as the Inquisitor gets here, we'll hang you right over the side of this ship with him.
I'll give you that knuckle if you keep carrying on.
An elf sits tucked away in a dark spot, lazily rolling dice onto the surface of a barrel.
Snake eyes.
She chuckles.
I bet that's just what they'll look like.
She shakes her head.
Game for one, I'm afraid. Rolling dice. Deciding fates.
She eyes you quite seriously.
Not the future, no. But I can read the... I could lick your arm and tell you how you spent the night before last.
She gives your arm a vigorous stroke of the tongue, efficient like a cat groomed.
You were in a cellar with other sorcerers. A dark... Ha! My, aren't you a pretty cup full of sugar and spice? Of course it is. The truth's... But don't you worry, darling. I don't lick and tell. Don't worry, honey. It isn't...
She looks you up and down with the merest hint of a coin.
Never say never, though.
It was one of them. I know
Well, well. What have we here? A fresh face in this stale hell.
The lizard looks you up and down, like all of a sudden he grips you firmly by the chin, with the intent of inspecting your teeth.
There's some discoloration, but I've seen worse. After all, one can't... Now then, to business. You will answer me 3 questions. The first one is this. Can you cook? Ah, music to my beleaguered... On to the second question. Can you knit, weave? In short, tailor? Oh, but to feel the caress of satin on my skull. On then to my final query. Have you the ability to administer the upkeep of one's personal appearance? The delicate art of cosmetics is what I'm after. Dear Lord, I might as well try and teach mathematics to a dog chasing its tail. So, 3 questions asked. As per your own testimony, you can cook and tailor, but your person... Still, beggars can't be choosers. So without further ado, I offer you my sincerest congratulations. As of now, you are my slave. Of course you accept. Mine wasn't a... Anyway, you may leave me for a moment. We'll go over your duty.
Got this wolf on a leash now.
The elf is reading a volume of Cranley Hubert's famous encyclopedia. He reaches out and takes your hand, turning it this way and that.
Fascinating.
He sits back and returns to his book, flicking quickly from page to page, completely oblivious to your presence.
I have already examined it and found it quite ordinary. What more could I Oh dear. I seem to... You have my apology. Perhaps I should demand the same from those red-cloaked humans. They laid their hands on me more than once. I do not believe I've been drawn anywhere. It is a quaint little... It is simultaneously too detailed, and... Tell me, what do you know of our world's history? Most unusual. And if it's not too rude to... No. I want to know about this. This text tells me that they created... Where did these gods come from? Who are their people? Where are the others of their kind? Of course you don't have any... Now please, run along. I have a world to decipher.
No amount of pestering will get the elf to take his eyes off his book or respond to your questions.
Here's the register, ma'am. Good, good. Magister, you faring okay so far?
He tugs the collar of his uniform.
Sorry you're upset, ma'am, but we all wear what we... You head on in now. Well...
Unacceptable. I've never dined on anything less than a dozen-course dinner, and I don't intend to do away with the custom.
So, anything interesting for me? I'll take that as a no.
A knuckle in it. I'm trying to concentrate. They don't care about us. We're like cattle to them. Murder most foul. And I strongly suspect you all of that.
What's happened?
The hound paws desperately at its snout. It winces as it draws blood from its wet black nose. The dog notices you for the first time and snarls. It sneezes suddenly and
Can't smell. Can't breathe. Please, make it stop.
Sorcerer!
the dog whines and
Not long before this thing snaps into splinters. Damn, that doesn't bode well. Onwards and upwards.
Thank the gods! By divine grace,
he eyes the collar
another sorcerer!
He leaps to attention and you pass through the door and are suddenly face to face with an undead. The skeleton is quickly leafing through a volume of Cranley.
No! What damn fools... It catches fire. It turns into must when wet. It cannot even
The skeleton looks up.
Oh, it's you. Shouldn't you be running and screaming or some such?
The skeleton groans and looks back to his book.
Yes, indeed. It's the look. Now, if you're really quite finished, I believe you have lifeboats to flee to. Please, I was no more an elf than you are those rags you're wearing. I had a mask, rather ingeniously designed, a mask that was stolen by that damned... Still, she'll drown with the rest of these fools, and I will simply pluck my mask from her cold, dead... Indeed, just as sensible as getting off a sinking ship. I would say good day, but it seems quite...
The skeleton shrugs casually and...
What fresh hell is this? Something's pounding on the hull.
The marking on the door was painted recently. You press your palm against the door to open it. It doesn't budge. The door groans open.
Something's breaking through. What the hell are those things? Death fog. I need to get out of here now. God damn it! I need to get off this wreck and quick.
children and dwarfs first, just like the old story.
The dwarf yanks at one of the nearby
You said there were other people down there.
You see those tentacles, kid? It's time for getting the hell out of here.
Thank you! There's a ladder right over there.
You're gonna be the death of us, you hear?
The Magister lies on the floor, unconscious and bleeding from a... The Magister lies on the floor.
If you can walk, get yourself up the ladder. There's a... Wait, before you
Prepare yourself.
She tries to speak, but can only gape as she clutches her neck, trying to stem the bleed. With jagged movements, blood quickly soaks through the cloth. Magister Siwan's mouth opens and closes, her eyes wide in terror. It's working. The pressure is stemming the flow of blood. Siwan clutches your arm. Something within the ship snaps. The floorboards shudder. Siwan struggles to her feet, clinging to you tightly.
It's ripping the ship apart. She's got...
I have plans for you, child. Rise.
Honorable Dallas, we lost a ship sailing sorcerer prisoners to Fort Joy. We assume some escaped and broke their collars. Their vile magic lured the Voidwoken. All who were aboard are presumed dead. Yours faithfully into eternity, High Judge Orivan.